Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates, and we gotta start this video with the breaking news of the week. The rumors are true. Sam Sulek is competing this weekend at that Las Vegas show. As far as I know, he only needs to place top 2 in order to qualify for the Arnold Amateur. Before we actually start assessing Sam's physique at 5 days out of this show, let me show you what he had to say about his plans.
The long-awaited, when is Sam gonna oil up question can be answered. The overarching plan is, this is a qualifier show, right? So once I head back home, assuming I actually meet those qualifications, then that means I get to do the Arnold Amateur.
Alright, so you heard it guys, his plan is to do that show, and if he qualifies, he also plans on doing the Arnold Classic Amateur. How will he do actually? Well, I'm looking at his physique and honestly, I am very much impressed. I mean, for the first show at the age of 22, this is really impressive. Now, I don't know which division he picked. Since this is an amateur show, he can choose to do both Open and Classic. I'm pretty sure he can make the weight for Classic. Overall, do I think he has the potential to be a great Classic Physique Pro? No, absolutely not. He cannot. I'm not gonna say this is my opinion, that's the way I see it. I'm sure he cannot be a great Classic Pro. I think that's pretty obvious. I think everybody will agree with that. He doesn't have the Classic lines, the Classic structure. And for the Open, to turn pro in the Open, that's not gonna happen this year. I mean, maybe if he's super lucky and nobody better shows up, but I doubt that's gonna be the case at the Arnold Classic. So I don't think he's turning pro this year, but I do see him placing in the top 2 in Classic Physique or the Open in this amateur show and actually going to the Arnold Classic. That would still be amazing. But guys, it's amazing enough that he's just competing. I can't wait to actually see this guy on stage. It's gonna be really interesting to see what he actually looks like against other people and actually hitting the mandatory poses, in condition, oiled up as he says, with the tan on, with the posing trunks and everything. Now, again, I am impressed with his muscularity. And I would say conditioning as well. I can't see his glutes and hamstrings. I don't know how conditioned he really is, but lower back looks really hard, really sharp. Overall, he looks really straight and he looks in good condition. He's definitely good body fat wise. We'll see how his peak week will go. Hopefully, he's not gonna try to do something crazy and mess it all up. If he shows up looking like this, basically, it's gonna be good enough. It's very impressive, especially from the front. Now, his posing needs a lot of work. He needs to hire a posing coach ASAP. His most muscular is fine, that's not a difficult pose to hit. I don't know how he's posing with his legs, but upper body looks good. Side chest is okay, it's pretty good. If his leg posing is okay, that's a good pose for him. His transitions could use some work, but, for a first show in his life, this is good. Front lat spread, I think it could be better. It's okay, it's not bad, but I think it could look better. So far, so good. I mean, I said his posing is horrible, but as of right now, these poses that he just went through are pretty good, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Side tricep actually looks pretty good, so I probably shouldn't have said that his posing is bad, because a lot of these poses that he just went through are actually looking pretty good, depending on how he poses with his legs. But there are a couple of poses that are just, I think they can be so much better. Most muscular, this variation also very good, a lot of muscularity, great conditioning as well, good shape in the most muscular. And here you'll see what I really don't like. So his back is conditioned and it's big. It's probably one of his best body parts, if not the best body part. And in the back lat spread, it looks pretty good. The glutes seem not in condition here. I mean, the upper portion, that's the most difficult part to get shredded. His lower back is really dry, so hopefully the lower body will be close enough. Now here is the pose that I am sure it can look so much better if he did it differently. Like I said, his back is probably his strongest body part, but the way he's hitting the back double bicep, it's horrible, man. It's really bad. I'm sure it can look so much better. This is so amateurish. Like, if a regular person would try to do a back double bicep when they saw it, like, for the first time in their life, this is the way they would hit it. Basically, there is so much work to be done here. Basically, the positioning of the torso, the angle of it. It seems like he's not doing anything with the legs, and that's a big part of the back double bicep. He's lifting his shoulders a little bit way up high. He needs to put them down and like flex the lats. He can definitely change the angle of his arms. It's actually so bad that it's difficult to really point out what is wrong with it. So I'm sure this pose can look so much better if he had a posing coach, somebody to really set him up, and he has enough money, he can afford a good posing coach. He can go and meet the guy and do it actually in person. I'm sure there are some good posing coaches in his area. He can afford that. He should definitely get that done and actually look much better. I mean, his posing is okay overall, like the front shots. I haven't seen the front double bicep, and I don't know how he's posing with his legs. That's probably the most important part. The foot positioning, how you bend your knees, how you use your hips, how you flex the quads without losing too much energy. The same thing with the hamstrings and the glutes. Like, we haven't really seen that. I think it's going to be pretty disappointing based on what I'm seeing right here. But again, this is his first show. You can't expect too much from him. I'm talking about him as the future pro. I mean, he's one of the most popular names in the fitness industry. So if he has this notoriety and he has probably the means to hire a good posing coach, he should definitely do it and get that done properly. I'm okay with him trying to pick himself, do the diet by himself and all that, the training. That's okay, he can play with that. But when it comes to posing, he most certainly needs to hire a professional, somebody to really show him how to pose like a bodybuilder, because this does not look professional at all. But again, he's going to do this show and he's probably going to embarrass himself with the posing, and he's going to realize his mistake afterwards, and then he'll probably get better over time. But it's really exciting that he's competing, that he's doing the show, that finally we're going to see this guy on stage, and I think he's actually going to do pretty well. I think he's going to place well because of his muscularity, conditioning, and because of his name as well. I think that's going to play a role for sure. Whatever you guys think about his physique right now and how well will he do, tell me down below in the comment section. Before we continue with this video, I gotta show you guys something from the Hostile supplements. It's this cluster dextrin. You can find it in the description of this video, in the link of the Hostile supplements website. So you have flavors like lemon, lime, mixed berry, or unflavored one. If you guys like to drink something while you're training and you want it to be a high quality carbohydrate that also digests really fast, this is the best option. I don't know how serious you are about this, but if you want the best thing out there, this is it. And you add some amino acids to it, it's a killer intra workout, guys. So if you want to buy it, go to the Hostile supplements, but make sure to use the code EVEN10. It will grant you a 10% discount, and it also helps me and this channel. So thank you guys in advance. Alright, the next thing we got for today is some SEO talk. I know you guys missed it, and in my previous video, somebody left this comment, and they said, you should have also reposted Andrew's post where you can clearly see separation in his delts and arms, and explain to us how the hell is separation visible on both of his shoulders and arms, but you're accusing him of pumping himself full of oil. You can see my reply there as well, but let's discuss this a little bit further. First, let me show you the video, the actual video that Andrew posted yesterday. Alright, so it's a video of Andrew jacked doing the rear delts, and like I said in my reply, I never said anything about his shoulder. If anything, his shoulders are actually small in comparison to his arms. You don't see that in this video because of the angle, but I never said anything about his shoulders. I mean, nothing about his separation in the shoulders. I don't know if he's doing the shoulders or not. I only said that about his arms. Now, do I see like some kind of crazy deep separation in the shoulders or the arms? Do I think it's impossible that he's using this stuff in the shoulders as well? No, I don't think the shoulders are that separated. They don't look like Wesley Wisser's shoulders, but who has Wesley Wisser separation in the shoulders? Nobody does. So, like I said, the shoulders are not a problematic area. And yeah, like they look decent, I mean decently separated and everything. And here the arms don't look super oiled up, but you guys have seen the videos. Come on, take a look at this again. Forget about separation, guys. I mean, the biggest telltale sign that somebody's using SEO is when the muscle is not moving when they're training it. And this bicep is just staying in one spot, doesn't move one millimeter basically while he's training this bicep. Like, this does not look like a normal arm, guys. Come on. Look at the tricep here as well. Like, that's something is off. Shoulders, no. Triceps and bicep, for sure, there's been something done to them. Now, for those of you, there is like probably half of you, maybe less, who are thinking like these guys are not doing SEO, it's impossible, you have to look like a SYNTHOL freak, like those guys from Brazil or Russia, who don't even train, who don't even bodybuild, they just put a lot of oil in their arms, like a liter or two or something like that, and they blow up. Like that's different, guys. Those guys are not bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, however, everybody, almost, pretty much everybody in the top tier are using a little bit of it somewhere. And even if they're not using SYNTHOL, they're probably shooting a lot of gear in certain body parts. I mean, it's been confirmed by so many of the guys, like they're injecting their biceps, triceps, and it gives the muscle this volumized look. But in Andrew's case, I'm definitely sure that he used like actual SYNTHOL, because that's also very commonly used by all of these pro bodybuilders. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you what Stephan Kienzel, the top coach in the world, had to say about this. Take a listen.
Stephan, your thoughts on or experience with SEO and pro bodybuilding. How common is it? Have you done it? Do you think it's good or bad?
I think in some cases it's part of the game to show some symmetry, but on the other hand, it's the most misdone thing, because people overdo it, people do it wrong, people get addicted to it. And it destroys physics faster than it makes physics better.
All right, you heard the answer, and by the way, the question was mine. So for those of you guys who think like this is not that common, that nobody's really doing it, that everybody is just building the muscle by training and using gear and that's it, guys, it's not that uncommon. It's actually very, very frequently used. From what I heard, basically, and I've been I've been researching this. I've been talking to a lot of pro bodybuilders and coaches. Even I can't really name names, but I heard so many examples of so many guys. Everybody is pretty much doing it. You would be surprised who, like so many guys, you would never even guess they're doing it. But in some cases, it's kind of obvious, like with Hadi, in my opinion, like with Andrew Jack, some other guys as well. And me personally, I don't have a problem with that. You can listen to the other guys at the podcast. They all said something about that, their experience or their opinion about it. All these guys are very, very familiar with that. It's very, very commonly used by these open bodybuilders. And if you guys opened your eyes and paid attention, you would be able to see it in so many physiques. Again, I have no issue with that from a moral perspective. If it's done properly and it enhances physique, I have no problem with that. But if it's done to a point where it looks weird, where it's too obvious, I don't like it, and I don't want it to become a normal thing in bodybuilding. I want it to be penalized. I don't want to see a bunch of SYNTHOL freaks on the stage. But if you guys feel otherwise, you can tell me down below in the comment section. Alright, and finally, we got a new physique update by Nick Walker at 12.5 weeks out of Pittsburgh Pro, and then also after that, he's going to do a New York Pro, maybe some shows as well. If he doesn't win those two shows, he's probably going to continue competing, but I'm pretty sure he's winning one of them at least, if not both, potentially. We'll see, but at 12.5 weeks out, based on what he said on his Mutant and the Mouth podcast, he's 299 right now, which is heavy, man, which is pretty freaking big for the guy of his height. And here you can see his conditioning. It's not close to being stage ready. There is no chest separation, shoulder separation. It's definitely improving. Each week he looks more conditioned, but at this point he is not close to being stage ready. And he shouldn't be. Of course, he doesn't need to rush things, he has enough time, he needs to stay as big as full as possible while keeping the midsection as tight as possible, which is probably the most important thing for him. We already saw his legs, they are definitely bigger, but it's gonna be all about how well he controls the midsection, maybe how much of that leg fullness he manages to keep as he gets shredded for the stage. For some reason, there is some sort of a bandage on his hand. I don't know what is the reason. So a lot of people actually asked the question in the comments. He did not reply. I don't know what happened, but I hope nothing serious happened. He's in the gym, he's training, so I guess it's fine. Overall, he looks great. He looks big and full, and you know he's heavy, and conditioning is coming along. I do believe this is going to be one of the best looks that Nick is going to bring to the stage. Maybe not from the aesthetics perspective, like his 2021 Arnold Classic look was really good, really nice, but as far as the freak factor, the size, I think we're going to see probably like what we saw from Ronnie Coleman in 2023. Like, he was definitely better, in my opinion, in 99 or 98 when he was smaller, but way more streamlined, had better aesthetics, and then in 03, he came in like a freaking monster, not as aesthetic, with a gut, but just so much muscle. And I think that's probably what we're going to see this year from Nick, with a decently controllable midsection, with improved legs, and overall as much muscle as this frame can pack on. Whatever you guys think about whichever part of this video, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me, go to the Hostel Supplements website, buy whatever you need, and make sure to use the code EVEN10 for a 10% discount. And also, guys, if you're looking for a coach, somebody to help you get shredded for the summer or to compete, ideally, you can DM me on Instagram. We can talk about this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.